The first light bulb. Who invented the light bulb? Explore the complex history of who exactly invented the first light bulb. Was it Humphrey Davy or Thomas Edison? The first light bulb. A brief history. The electric light bulb is one of the everyday objects that we rarely pay attention to, even though it has a complex history. It is thought that Thomas Edison invented the first light bulb in 1879, though scientists and inventors had been exploring how to invent incandescent light bulbs for several decades before Edison. What is incandescent light? The first light bulbs were all incandescent light bulbs, meaning they were created using a glass bulb or lamp which had all the air sucked out of it to create a vacuum, a space with very little or no air. And in this glass bulb there has to be a very thin piece of metal, also known as a filament, held by an electrical circuit. The wire is heated up and starts to glow to create light. Connect your history lessons and your science lessons by matching resources like our Sources of Light PowerPoint and our Edison Research Map to create fantastic projects with your children. Who invented the light bulb? Early explorations as far back as 1802. A scientist named Humphrey Davy from England invented a simple electric light. He experimented with electricity and created a circuit with a small battery. When he connected wires to his battery with a piece of carbon between the wires, the carbon glowed. This circuit became known as the electric arc lamp, but it burned too brightly and too quickly for it to be used in homes. Other attempts to create electric light in the several decades that followed Davy's attempt at creating the first light bulb. Other inventors also had a go at creating light bulbs. But unfortunately none of their designs were able to overcome all the problems that Humphrey Davy first noticed. These attempts sometimes muddy the water when answering the question of who invented the first light bulb, as technically, the common answer of Thomas Edison is not strictly true. Inventors such as Humphrey Davy and Warren de la Rue had already had a go at creating their own light bulbs, but these attempts were not as sophisticated as Thomas Edison's design, which was both cheap and long-lasting. Some of the most notable attempts to create a light bulb were Humphrey Davy. Humphrey Davy, an English chemist, invented the first electric light in 1802. After experimenting with electricity, he invented an electric battery which, when he connected wires to the battery and a piece of carbon, made the carbon glow and produce light. His invention was known as the electric arc lamp. However, the light did not burn long at all, making it impractical for commercial use. Warren de la Rue in 1840. British scientist Warren de la Rue created a similar circuit to Davy. He used electrical wires and a battery, but instead of carbon, he used a filament of platinum coiled up very tightly. He put this circuit into a glass tube and created a vacuum inside so that the platinum could not react with the air. This electric lamp burned for much longer than Davy's design. But platinum was very expensive to use. Joseph Wilson Swan in the 1850s, a physicist named Joseph Wilson Swan spent time experimenting with different glass chambers, different vacuums and different metals to use as a filament. He managed to create several working prototypes, but was never able to create a light bulb which was both long-lasting and cheap to create.